Should these college players? Hey, should these college players get paid, bro?
You want to go first, or you want me to go?
Hey, man, I don't. You do not want me to go first.
All right. So I believe that college student athletes should not be paid.
Listen here, R. Kelly. You better bring it. You better bring it.
I believe college students should not be paid. And the reason why they should not be paid, not because they don't bring all the revenue. I understand they bring all the revenue. I understand that they should receive some kind of compensation for this. But the problem is,
don't make my case for me now.
The problem is, how can you control it? How can you stop colleges from Ohio State and Texas from getting all the best players? Because if you pay a kid, how do you know if the boosters is not paying these people more? How can you keep a hold or cap on it? My thing is, it'll be a watered down NCAA then, because all the top schools with the top booster clubs will have the top talent. Then the other schools will be looking bad. Now, it is 236 Division I schools for sports in United States of America. And they're all allowed 85 full scholarship awards to give to students, okay? And that makes it even, because everyone has the same amount of scholarships, unless you're, getting paid under the table. So, therefore, it makes it even where it's hard for one school to take all of the kids. Mm-hmm. And I see someone here saying salary cap. I understand that, but if someone is paying me $20,000 to go to their school to play football, and it says that's a salary cap, but I got a booster at Ohio State saying, we give you $100,000 if you come to our school, they'll never know, because it looks like you just getting $20,000. They'll never know how you getting such money. And you cannot argue with where the money came from. So now all these boosters giving these big time athletes $100,000 under the table, $1 million under the table. They just pay us back when you make it to the league. That's how it gets watered down, I believe. There's no way you'll be able to control that. There's no way you'll be able to cap that. And that's why they haven't allowed anyone to get paid yet. Because, you got football bringing this money. What about basketball, volleyball, soccer, all of those different things?
Let me jump in. Let me jump in right there.
Yep.
I'm not going to give you my plan just yet, because I think...
I got a plan, too.
I think I found a way to do it. But as far as the boosters and stuff like that, who's to say that's not happening now?
It is, and that's the problem. But
they can't stop that now. So my thing is, it's not more so, let's ignore that, but that's the same. That's going to be the same issue either way.
Not true. Let me tell you why that ain't true.
But let me
tell you real quick why that's not true. Let me tell you why that's not true. Because before all this social media stuff was going on, people were getting paid a lot under the table, and you can see people were starting to get caught when social media started to block them. Now you can see the talent now is around the country. You see teams like UCF is actually winning. You see teams where, like Appalachian State, can compete with Michigan and beat teams like that now, because more and more people are not getting paid. You can tell it's not like how it used to be. Some people probably are getting paid still just under the table, but it's not as bad as it was before, and it's not as bad as it would be if you start paying these students.
Okay, so let me jump in. Let me since we're saying paying the students, and a lot of people like to say they already getting paid because they have scholarships. Let me tell you the truth about scholarships. And this was published in 2015, which is 3-4 years ago now, but in the New York Times, they put out an article and they said full ride scholarships, technically, they don't exist. Athletic full ride scholarships do not exist. And their reason for it is what they say is those scholarships are given out 1 year at a time. So promises of full ride scholarships the whole time you're in school are very thin. They are to be renewed at the coach's discretion, and they have a maximum of 5 years within a 6-year time frame. So what I did was I took the average. I said, all right, so what is the average scholarship that these kids can get? And so what I found out is the average scholarship for men's basketball and football came in around $10,400. Okay, fine. Outside of that, the average for sports athletes came in at $8,700. So then I did some more inquiring because, we're in Ohio. I love Ohio State. Randy love Ohio State. I took this year's tuition for Ohio State. This year's tuition for Ohio State, before we even get to room and board, is $10,726. If you live in Ohio. If not, you're spending $30K. That's before room and board expenses come in. Another $12,500 if you add in room and board, and that's for non-residents and Ohio residents. Mm-hmm. So for me, even getting an athletic scholarship, you're going to need more. You're going to need that financial aid. So a lot of our college players are taking out loans. They taking out loans. Then I even did some more research. I said, okay, what happens if I have a player that has a career-ending injury out there on the football field? What if he get paralyzed? My first argument for that is, say if I got a player who wanted to be a doctor, a physical therapist. He go out there, he get paralyzed. His lifelong career being a physical therapist, that's gone. And he's paralyzed, and he didn't even get no money for it. And oh, by the way, the NCAA, they have rules set up that all college athletes are required by the NCAA to have health care insurance. The NCAA does not mandate colleges to pay health care costs for players should they get injured on the field. That requirement would go under the parents' insurance for primary insurance and paying for all athletes' injury costs. Are you kidding me? These universities, Randy Knight, they make $196 million. That's University of Oregon. Mm-hmm. University of Texas, they grossed $161 million. Michigan, $157. Alabama, $153. The Ohio State Buckeyes, $145 million. That's just their athletic department. I could go into their total sales and merchandise, but they're not even covering these kids if they get hurt, bruh. Mm-hmm. They're not even covering these kids if they get hurt.
That's not true, though, but because if you read the fine line, what it says was they're not obligated to, which means that they don't have to. That doesn't mean that they don't do it, so don't get it twisted up.
They give them a medical red shirt. Mm-hmm. Yes, they do. Mm-hmm. Yes, they do. But Baker Mayfield, bro, our quarterback, mm-hmm. Heisman Trophy winner, he wasn't always playing for Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. You know, I heard a little story. He used to play for a squad named Texas Tech. Mm-hmm. He walked onto them, became the starting quarterback, mm-hmm. and then he had to transfer. You want to know why? Their coach, it was a misunderstanding with the scholarship situation at Texas Tech. Their coach didn't want to offer him a full ride, so he ended up having to leave Texas Tech, take a walk-on with Oklahoma, and the rest was history. Mm-hmm. That's a Heisman Trophy winner. So when that coach come to me and sit in my living room and trying to recruit me for Xavier, and he's giving me all this knowledge about what Xavier can do and mm-hmm. the academics and stuff like that, I'm gonna spit that verbatim right back out to him and say, what academics? My son, he might want to be a doctor. He can't do pre-med classes because guess what? NCAAs require y'all to do 20 hours of practice time. But then, if my son is not a blue chip or a 5-chip recruit, say he's a 3-chip recruit, right? Say he's 4th string on the depth list. So he has to worry about his scholarship. He already can barely pay because his daddy got 5 kids, all right? His daddy ain't got it to just pay for college out of pocket. So he has to go into this school worrying about, number one, I got to keep my grades up. So I got to spend at least 30 hours doing that. I got to spend this mandatory practice time. Oh, and by the way, they have what is called, what a lot of coaches then found the fine line and the loophole in the rules. They got what is called volunteer workouts, Randy Knight. Mm-hmm. Volunteer workouts where they take your name. Don't show up. Don't show up to these volunteer meetings.
Of course, I know all about it.
You know what I'm saying?
So what you're saying, I understand what you're saying as a parent, but as an organization, what you're saying is cool, but it doesn't mean pay the students because at the end of the day, yes, you're right. They're not obligated to take care of their health care, but most colleges do. Most colleges do that. You get hurt, they take care of you, make sure you know what I'm saying, they pay for your bills, they pay for this, they pay for that. On top of what you said about the tuition and room and board, they mm-hmm. take care of all that. The reason why some students are taking out loans, not to pay for school, but just to have stuff for regular living things. And also, what you don't know, what you didn't put on, I don't know if you know or not, but you get stipends also when you're
Yeah.
on scholarship.
Yeah, they
for
get-
clothes and food. It's not much.
They get a stipend for $2 to $5 grand.
Right.
Yeah.
So which once
And
again, it's not much.
that just started after Northwestern players
Right.
threatened to try to unionize.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is, so they do get that. So that's not a lot. I do understand. And you're right. You can lose your whole career by playing football or basketball, whatever. But that's the choice that you make. That's the choice that you make. You can in football until now there were no guaranteed contracts, so you can go in there and be one of the best players ever, and before your big contract, you get hurt, career injury, you're done. They don't have to give you nothing. There was nothing guaranteed. So the NFL is just as bad as the college. So therefore, and then you bring up the salary that they get. You know, the millions of dollars they get, but also room and board it ain't free. Tuition isn't free. All the stuff that they get, all the stuff that students receive by being a student athlete on full scholarship is a lot. I'm not saying that it's enough, but it still is a lot compared to what a regular person would have to go to. And to back on to about Baker wasn't recruited like that. Baker was a walk-on.
Yeah, he
was
walk
a walk-on to Texas Tech. So therefore, he wasn't recruited. That's dumb coach fault for not giving him the full ride to stay there, because maybe he would have had they would have been a playoff team. You never know. But that's their fault. At the end of the day, X, it's too hard to monitor where these kids are getting money, because it's thousands and thousands of college students, and it's hard to really manage where those money is coming from. You give them $20 million stipends.
No.
I mean, not million, $20,000 stipends, sir. You don't know if any booster club or any coaches on the side are giving them extra money. It'd be too hard. So
and you know what, you right around my number. You're right exactly around my number of a stipend that I would give them. I just want to run some more numbers down, man. I feel like giving everybody the full information. The Ohio State University, one of the biggest universities in the country, but it's the biggest in Ohio. I think it is the biggest university in the country. Mm-hmm. It has 68,100 students. Mm-hmm. Their total expected revenue is $7.5 billion. That was approved by the trustees. They say, you know what? Yeah, go ahead. That's what we know we're going to bring that in. The total expenses is $6.9 billion. That's just the college. We're not talking NCAA. We just talking The Ohio State University. That's a profit of $6 billion just for them. Mm-hmm. Okay, so my cousin Pepe, he went to Ohio State University.
Yep.
He played at Ohio State University, right behind Eddie George. Still top 20 in Ohio State history in rushing. So I'm going to definitely shout him out. What he did, he was a walking billboard of merchandise for my family. I wanted to go to Ohio State. Most of my cousins wanted to go to Ohio State.
Right.
So that's 15 to 30K they got in the bag of generations wanting to go to Ohio State just because Pepe Pearson went to Ohio State.
Right.
My son, 11 years old, loves Ohio State. Wants to go to Ohio State because he sees his dad loved Ohio State and wanted to go there. So even if they don't go and be able to play football or play in that sport, Ohio State is always going to get free advertisement from these players.
Right.
And they never even got paid for it.
But see, you ran into my trap, and I was hoping you kept saying it. I wanted to give you more time to say it. You see, listeners, viewers, my man X, he did a lot of research on this. But where he fails to realize that the same schools that he's naming are the bigger schools. He's naming Ohio State, Oregon, Texas. He's naming all of the big schools. So what about so we put out, say, okay, like I said, there are 236 Division I schools, right? 236, right? So if we give them all of their players from all sports $20,000, what about the schools like Eastern Michigan, Akron, Youngstown State University, Bowling Green, Toledo, all them other schools? They cannot pay all, because they have the same amount of, they have the same amount of scholarships, so they have the same amount of athletes on the team. So therefore, they would have to pay the same. A lot of them will go bankrupt.
You know what? And Randy, that's when you got to understand that when you challenge an ex, I'm not playing checkers, Pimpin'.
Well, I hope
I'm
not.
definitely playing chess. This is where my plan comes in. So, this is what I've been waiting on. And this is what I did. I said, you know what? I ain't even gonna get into the the scholarships, and I'm not even gonna do that. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say, this is my example. Division I NCAA sports. I'm going off of last year's gross money revenue that Ohio State accepted from the Big Ten. Not counting all 30 of their sports, just a few of them. I'm gonna take women's basketball tournament that they played in, the money that they gross from there, the NCAA men's basketball tournament, and the football, and their payment from the TV deal. That came up to $62 million. So what I did was, just for fun, I took that $62 million and I said, you know what? I'm going to make it fair. We're going to get a school 75%, and let's just pay the players 25% of that $62 million. Mm-hmm. I broke that down to be at Ohio State. Ohio State will receive $49.5 million. The students, every student athlete would receive, not every student athlete, but the student athletes would receive $15.5 million. I broke all that down. Ohio State currently has 1,038 student athletes on the roster for all 30 sports. Remember, I only took 3 categories, how I'm dividing this money up. So I took $15.5 million. I divided that by the 1,038 student athletes, and I used only the bonus money, only the bowl money, and the TV money that they all have to split, that gets dealt out evenly to the Big Ten, and they split it all out evenly. I took that and I came up with a bonus check for each player, $14,932.56. Now, if you divide that number up, Randy Knight, during a 40-hour work week, that's $1,244 a month, which turns out every week they're only getting $311 a week. That's the equivalent of making $7.77 an hour, which is 78 cents lower
than our minimum wage.
So,
but where you messed up at is that you added money from the TV deals, you added money from championship experience, from tournaments. Mm-hmm. Every team doesn't do that. Every team doesn't have a chance to do that. I'm going to rebuttal all this. We have to go on break. Shout out to my brother Steven. Shout out to Ranisha, Vicky, shout out to y'all. I'm going to read y'all comments when we come back.
Oh, definitely.
We got a lot going on.
216-271-0959 WOVU 95.9.
Yeah, I'm about to kill you, bro. You done messed up. You done messed up big time.
You still walking into the trap.
Hey, you see all these notes you got?
Still walking into the trap, Squeeze.
This is my note.
He still don't know it.
I'm about to kill him.
Squeeze, he still don't know he walking into the trap.
I'm about to kill him.
He still don't know it, because I know what he about to do.
No, you don't.
I know what he about to do. He about to keep on with the little school thing and all like that. If he let me finish out my plan, ooh-wee.
Radio station that got everything for you.
I'm gonna give Facebook Live a little extra information. Extra information. So what Randy don't know is, no matter if you a big school, small school, how they deal that up is when the schools going to bowls and all that money, they split all that stuff up, all the TV contracts, all that, and they give it to the conferences, and they tell the conferences divide it up however they want to. The Big Ten divides it up even. They divide it up even.
That also is killing this argument, because you're talking about the big conferences as far as Big Ten, SEC, ACC, but what about the ones like the Horizon League? What about stuff like those? They ain't getting those tournaments. They ain't getting no team there.
They in the NCAA tournament. Every team gets a... That NCAA
they want it done. They ain't getting no money from one and done. You get more money as farther you go.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You get for the bowl games, you get money for that as well. They're not splitting them bowl game money up from conferences, dog. They giving it to that school. You wrong, bro. I'm telling you, I got this. I'm about to kill him, dog. Stay tuned. What up, Myron? Hey Myron on here, dog.
Hey, bro. What's up, Myron?
We are here to change the game.
Hey, man, come bring some of that talent, man. What you doing, man? I don't want to hear nothing about I'm a police officer, I'm saving crime. I don't want none of that. I want to see you on the mat. No, I don't want to wrestle. I want you to help me coach.
He don't want to wrestle.
Help me and Dave coach. I don't want you to take... Don't get that confused at all.
I got you, Steve. I see what you're saying, Steve. I got all that. Don't worry about it.
You want me to finish out or what?
I'm about to, you can finish if you got more to say about it. I'm about to kill everything you just said.
Yeah. Welcome back. Man, you know what, man? Hold on. I gotta do my little dance to this, man. Shout out Nikki Smith. Shout out George. This is 95.9 on the Matt Show. 216-271-0959. I ain't gonna, you know what? Y'all know the college football championship game coming up Monday. You know what I'm saying? What time is it supposed to come on, man? I don't even, you know what? Just look for the game, man. It's coming on, man. Alabama versus Clemson, round 4. Y'all know who it is. Y'all know what it is. Back to the topic at hand, man. Let me get back with you. So, yeah, I left off at we're going to be 78 cents short of minimum wage in Ohio. So, Randy Knight, to rebuttal what you saying, it's going to water it down and ain't going to be no competition. That what else did you say? That all the guys, they're going to pick the bigger schools. This actually works against the bigger schools, and it actually keeps it more competitive because now when you go to these bigger schools, Ohio State has over 30 sports, and so we're paying all these athletes. So out of that big prize money that they're bringing in, that everybody's getting evenly, they're gonna have to distribute that out to 1,038 kids. Versus if you go to a Purdue or versus if you go to an Indiana University who might not have 30 sports, who might only have 20 sports and might only have 1,000 kids. When they get their $62 million, it's going to be more money for them and for their living arrangements and for how things go different for them.
That wouldn't make it fair then. That wouldn't make it fair, and that's my point.
It would make it fair.
It would not make it fair.
It's going to help the little schools come up.
No, but if you're telling me, oh, since we have more teams, we get paid less, that's not making it fair, bro. So my biggest point is, if I'm the number one recruit in football or baseball or basketball, the reason why people are getting paid under the table now is because you going to schools and telling me, yeah, your school look lovely, but what are you going to give me to make me come to your school so I can know that I mean more than this school than anywhere else so I can be here and play?
We're not paying these kids. We're not doing this for the number one recruit. We're doing it for that third string kid who ain't going to never hit the field.
And that's the point.
Who ain't going to hit
that's the point. So it's going to be harder. It's going to be hard. That's why the money's going to be given away so much from the boosters because they care about Ohio State care about the number one recruit. Georgia care about the number one recruit. Bama care about the number one recruit.
We still gonna care about it.
North Carolina care about the number one recruit.
Because guess what?
So,
when you go to that national championship game, when you go to that bigger game, that's more money coming in for your conference. So that's gonna keep everything competitive because
not in bowl games, not in football. Bowl games it goes strictly to your to
your conference.
Right, and also
which is what I broke it down from.
No, bowl games go to your school.
Yeah, no.
If Ohio State playing that bowl game, it didn't go to the Big Ten. It went to them. But when they play in the NCAAs, when they go to the conference. Yes, it is.
I looked it up, bro.
I'm telling you, both.
Except, listen, they have it. It's different. Okay, like Ohio State, they got what they get for the Rose Bowl. They got 1.2 for the invite for the Rose Bowl. That 1.2 million, but they get that revenue, that 27 something. That goes to the Big Ten.
You talking about the money from ticket sales and stuff?
Yeah, all that goes to the Big Ten.
No, I understand that. But I was saying the money that they get for the teams. Also, do you know when Ohio State plays like an Akron and they comes to Ohio State? You know Ohio State pays Akron, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to come to a screeching halt when all the players are getting paid because.
Why?
Because everyone is getting paid the same. They're not going to sit here and pay these small schools to come play them when everyone is already getting paid. Now their money is getting cut low. The people from the higher up, their money is going to get cut. They're not going to do that anymore. So my biggest thing is, if I'm a number one recruit and I'm trying to go to one of these big schools, it's like, all right, everybody get $20,000. But what you gonna do? What you gonna do to make me come here? What you gonna do to make me come here to your school? Because I can go anywhere else and play. And that's where the boosters gonna come in. That's when the other people get paid on site, and you will not be able to control that. Like, I'm not saying that. Listen to me. When I say they shouldn't pay student athletes, I'm not saying that they don't deserve the money, because I believe that you do deserve. You putting your all into it. Like my boy Roshan said, he played for Youngstown State. He said the student athletes struggle in the summer, which is true. I was there. I seen it. We struggle. It's a struggle in the summer because you don't have anything. You have most of them. You can't really go home because you got practices. You get ready for the next season.
Yeah.
So I understand. So I totally understand that. And I'm not saying they don't deserve the money, because they do. They put the time in, everything. But the thing is, it's too hard to control. It's very hard to control, because what's telling me what could you do? How could you control? Like, so what do you
say? What do you say to the Terrell Pryors, to the Reggie Bushes, who What do you say to the kid that's coming up from Garden Valley or down the
This is
way?
what I would say. This is what I would say.
That's trying to that their mother light bill is due,
right.
But they in school and they can't get a job like the regular student can.
My solution is to go back to why did Trustle leave Ohio State?
Because he stood up for his players.
What did his players do wrong?
His players were selling memorabilia.
Exactly. That's how you pay the players. That's how I believe you should pay the players. Should be able to sell their own memorabilia. They should be able to. They should get money from the jersey sales because that goes from any school can sell that.
But
so that's the only way I believe that kids should get paid from their jersey sales. They should get paid from a shirt sale or anything with it, they can sell. They should get paid signing autographs. But that again opens up a Pandora's box where it's like a booster can come in and still get these guys hundreds, thousands of dollars.
You know what?
How you get this? Oh, I got it from signing autographs. It's always that.
You know
Pandora's
what?
box
I
is
fell
bad.
into that merchandise trap. I really did because I was with you on that. And then I thought about what's up with my center. What's up with the tackle, with the guard?
They sell too.
Those jobs.
You don't understand. They sell.
They're not
too,
going to sell as much as my quarterbacks.
Not if you don't promote it.
But still, even if you're promoted,
If you're an all-star player and you're going somewhere big, they're going to buy it.
Dude, back in the day, I had a Bobby Hoying jersey. A Bobby Hoying jersey. I can't even name the center for his center. I had a Joe Germain's jersey. I can't name his center. The only offensive lineman that I can name from Ohio State is Orlando Pace. That's the only one. So that's why I figured like.
And he has one of the top selling jerseys of all time as well.
But
Orlando Pace.
But that's why I figured like I can't go down the merchandising road because it wouldn't be fair.
It would be
all
fair.
the kids will want to play receiver.
If you're that big of an
all
athlete,
the kids will want to play quarterback.
If you're that big of an athlete, but that only goes for football. If you look at basketball, baseball, all the positions are sold the same. So therefore, the bigger star you are, the bigger of the athlete you are, that's how you sell. That's
So
how
do
you
I
sell it.
become the bigger star? Then,
Let me ask you a
know?
question. You coach sports.
Yeah.
If you just say I'm bringing a football player in from Ohio State, they will all be pumped up. They will all pay for his autograph, and they'll love it. Period, point blank. That's what you do. You have to be able to sell who you are, but like I said, that opens up a Pandora's box as well because, like I say, it's hard to stop. Once you open up the floodgates to pay somebody, it's hard to stop it. It's hard to control it, and that's the bigger problem. Like I said, I'm not saying they shouldn't get paid, but what I'm saying is it'll be hard to control. And like
shout out to George Bedadnik.
And like Steven said, he said the NBA D League is about to change the game. They are because now you don't have to go to college.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with going to school, and that's why it will change the game. It will change the game. You're right. Steven is absolutely right. And Vicky said that they should also get EBT cards. Actually, they all do get EBT cards.
If they smart, man. If they smart.
And Steven said the coaches shouldn't be able to leave this current school immediately, and they shouldn't be able to get paid off of these students' success. I don't agree with that because they're not getting a scholarship to go to their school. I believe they should get paid because this is their life. Their whole entire life. They don't have anything else. A student athlete can still be a student. And I want to bring up this thing. When doctors are going to school and they have to do their what do they call when they go to the
internships?
No, they go to work. They go do doctor's work.
They pre-med or something?
No, I forgot what it's called, but they go there all the time. It's called
residency?
No. I forget what it's called, but they go there all the time. They go to real hospitals and they volunteer work as part of their schooling.
Oh, the internships.
It's not an internship. It's called something else.
Okay.
It's called I forget what it's called. They don't get paid for that. They don't get a lot of people that do. When you in college, a lot of people do internships. And they don't get paid for that. So then now they will want to get paid as well because I'm in this profession doing this job, but I ain't getting paid for it. And that's another thing. So that will open up the whole Pandora's box for everything. And it would just spoil college sports, period.
I feel it, man. I strongly disagree on that, man. The last thing that I'm going to say on it is, y'all got to do something, man. NCAA, y'all got to do something, dog. You got players coming from the hood, man, coming from dirt, from stones, and they sitting up here at these big time colleges watching y'all make Ohio State making $7.5 billion, dog. And my mama can't even pay her light bill, can't even pay her gas bill.
Right.
And y'all,
Right.
and as soon as I go to sell my merchandise, start
Yeah,
to
that'd
stuff
be the
that I didn't
change.
win and
That'd be
earn,
the change.
that I didn't win and did off of my name, y'all got free advertising for life off of me, and my
Right.
mama can't eat.
Right.
Dog, that is an issue. That is injustice, and the
I agree.
NCAA, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Figure out, man.
Right?
It
Shout out
is
to Rico. It's called clinicals.
okay.
When
Clinicals.
they do
It is 230 something NCAA Division I schools that got bright young minds. Y'all all get together and figure this stuff out, man, and let these kids earn some type of pay to be able to support their family, man.
Got to figure a way.
We gonna hurry up, man. We gotta shut it down, y'all.
I
They
appreciate
calling,
y'all,
man.
Definitely.
They calling. It's closing, man. They
This ain't
on
the
our
end of this
back.
topic. This ain't the end of this topic. We're gonna bring this
Oh,
back.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
We
coming
want you
back.
guys to be. Don't just write on my Facebook page. I also call in so we can hear your explanation of everything, because this is a very serious topic, man. Like I said, I don't think that I don't think that they don't deserve it. I just think that it'll be hard to control. That's the only reason why I say no, because it'll be a mess. It'll be a big mess.
I'm for the mess. I'm for
Let
the
them go
mess.
straight from high school then. Let them go straight to high school.
Secure
to
the
pros.
bag.
Let them
I'm
go
about
straight to high
getting
school for
that
the-
bag.
Let them go
All
straight-
2019. Get that bag.
Shout out, y'all. We love y'all, man. Thanks for being on the match, y'all. We